Since 1999, Nintendo Super Smash Bros. Has been the quintessential platform fighting game. What originally started as a celebration of Nintendo's property eventually became the collaboration representing all of gaming. The popularity of Smash Bros. Led to other companies such as Nickelodeon and Warner Bros. To try their hand at the crossover platform fighter formula, and while these games are a fun novelty, they didn't last very long, even though I personally enjoyed MultiVersus and Nick All-Star Brawl too. But what if the world's biggest entertainment company tried their hand at the Super Smash Bros. Formula? Yes, I'm talking about Disney. With 100 plus years of iconic films, characters, and franchises, Disney is without a doubt the biggest in the game. And a crossover fighting game would fit their fun, chaotic aesthetic perfectly. Now, Disney has had crossover games in the past, like Infinity, Dreamlight Valley, and Speedstorm, but they were riddled with bugs and tons of in-game purchases. Now, if they just made a full game where buying the game got you everything included, they could have been excellent. Before diving straight into this concept, we have to establish some rules. First off, Super Smash Bros. Started with only characters owned and primarily distributed by Nintendo, so our game will start with only Disney-created characters, so no Marvel, Star Wars, Fox, etc., at least for now. This doesn't include Pixar or the Muppets, since Disney has primarily distributed them for a very long time and puts their name on the properties, similar to Nintendo's distribution of HAL Laboratory and Pokemon games. Secondly, the Disney characters have to line up with the characters in Smash Bros. For example, you wouldn't pick, Mulan to replace Kirby. Wait. Jokes aside, the characters have to have similar abilities, movesets, or concepts to replace each other. Third, the characters need to make sense in a fighting game. They should be able to actually walk, fly, or jump, first of all, so don't expect someone like Nemo or Dory. And secondly, they should be a character that would actually be willing to fight in this kind of scenario. For example, a character like Bambi could technically work, but you wouldn't expect to see Bambi beating up Mickey Mouse. So now that the rules are established, we can get to the roster, starting with Mario. Mario is Nintendo's main man, the mascot everyone knows. He's an all-arounder, mixing light and heavy punches, great recovery, and unique projectiles, making him a great beginner character. Only one character from Disney has that level of versatility and icon status, and that's Mickey Mouse. Starting off with his stats, Mickey's incredibly small, placing him near the bottom of the weight class, with about 2 jumps, but no other ways of movement. For his basic moves, Mickey isn't afraid to scrap. And with his Toon Force in his arsenal and lots of magical abilities, he has lots in store for his A attacks. For his jab, Mickey uses his canonical martial arts training, which, yes, is a thing. He swings his right glove, then his left, followed by spin and a kick to knock the opponent and send them flying. For his dash, he runs and flies through the air. For his forward tilt, he stretches his arm out to attack the opponent. For his up tilt, he sends a blast of magic above his head. For his down tilt, he summons a magic broom to spell water under the opponent. Starting with his smash attacks, for his forward smash, he slams a giant mallet forward. For his up smash, he sends a huge blast of magic that sends the opponent flying if he catches them. For his down smash, he sweeps down the opponent with a magic broom. For his neutral air, he jumps up and spins in the air. For his forward air, he punches forward in the sky. For the back air, he does a drop kick. For his up air, he does a spin upwards before kicking the opponent. For his down air, he drops an anvil on the opponent. For the grabs, Mickey grabs with one hand and then pummels with the other. Mickey kicks the opponent forward and launches them for his forward throw. He spins around and throws them backwards for his back throw. And for the up throw, he sends a blast of magic, sending the opponent flying upwards. Using his powers of reality manipulation, Mickey flattens the opponent and sends him flying like a paper airplane for his down throw. Moving on to the specials, for his neutral B, he whistles and sends magical music notes around him. For his side B, he sends a magic broom that the player can control to attack the opponent. For the up B, he uses his tail to launch upwards. Finally, for his down B, he uses his magic paintbrush to blast the opponent with thinner. For his final smash, he transforms into his Sorcerer Mickey appearance and makes waves all around the stage that attack his opponents, homaging the iconic Fantasia. For his costumes, he has his classic appearance, his sorcerer costume, his tuxedo, his iconic black and white appearance, his Kingdom Hearts attire, his band conductor uniform, his Three Musketeers costume, and his racer costume. First stage, it's the Steamboat Willie Boat. The replacement for the Smash Bros. Stage Battlefield is, of course, the Disney Castle. That's all I have for today. In the next video, we'll replace Donkey Kong.